Hello, and welcome to Soothing Pod's Sleep Stories. My name is Chris, and tonight I will be your guide as we travel to the coast of Maine to spend a relaxing, peaceful weekend in a cozy cottage by the sea. We will watch the ocean waves lap the edges of the rocky coastline, meander through a sleepy coastal town, and even travel to one of the islands where meadows of wildflowers and fields of blueberries await us on a warm summer afternoon. Before we begin, however, let us take a moment to relax and find peace and comfort in the place that we are in, here and now. Close your eyes and allow your body to sink into the mattress beneath you. Here and now, there are no obligations. There is no to-do list. By simply closing your eyes and listening to the sound of my voice as we begin this journey together, you are already giving yourself the rest that you need. As your body sinks deeper and deeper into the mattress beneath you, and your breaths become deeper and more nourishing, focus on the comfort of your bed. Feel the points of your body that are in light contact with the surface underneath you. The way your arms and legs sink into the plush bed, and the way the pillow cradles your head. But for a moment, let's pretend that your plush bed isn't in your room at all. Instead, it is on the long coastline, sitting in the sand of an isolated, secluded beach. Feel the warmth of the sunlight as it washes over you from the baby blue sky, warming your body and allowing your muscles to let go of any tension they may have been carrying today. Embrace the warmth of that sunshine as it kisses your soft skin. There is no feeling that can compare to the soothing, relaxing touch of the sunlight as it embraces you, encouraging you to savor the beauty and promise of each moment. Though the sun is bright and warm on you, the soft sea breeze keeps the warmth from being overpowering. It brushes against your skin, whisking away any excess heat. And on that breeze, the scents of the sea slowly reach you. You can smell the salty, invigorating scent of the ocean waves as they make their way to shore. Something about the salt in the air allows you to relax even more than before. On that same breeze, you can smell the fragrance of distant islands. The seagrass in its shallows swaying with the currents. The wildflowers climbing the rocky coastline, popping out of crack wherever they may run. The bright, citrusy scent of cedar and pine trees swaying in the same breeze that's caressing your skin now. And then there is the view. Islands dot the horizon, giving the entire vista before you a magical, fairy tale quality. You wonder if anyone lives on the tiny islands before you. You wonder what kind of stories have unfolded on them. What kind of tranquility envelops them? But the thing that draws your attention the most is the waves lapping the shore just beside your bed. The ocean is breathtakingly clear, a watercolor of cerulean, cyan, and azure, each shade more beautiful than the last. The waves come up onto shore, washing over the golden sand in a peaceful, smooth stroke. Then they recede back out into the ocean, leaving behind white sea foam that bubbles and simmers in the sunlight. The waves come in, then go out to sea. Come in, then go out. And as they do, you find the rhythm of your breath matching up with them. As the waves lap up onto the shore, slowly, ever so slowly, a deep, nourishing breath fills your lungs. As the waves slide back into the sea, disappearing into the waves, you exhale, letting the breath go. You inhale with the waves coming in, and exhale as they roll back out to sea. You inhale a deep, nourishing breath with the waves, and exhale as they go out to sea. With every breath that you take, visualizing the coast, you grow more and more relaxed. Now that we have taken the time to unwind and find comfort in the here and now, let us begin our story. You can hear and smell the beautiful day before you even open your eyes. The fresh white linen sheets wrapped around your sleepy body invite you to lie in bed just a little bit longer. Invite you to enjoy the start of this day and really soak it in. You pull the sheets down a little bit in the morning air, allowing the breeze sweeping in from the open French doors to caress your skin. The thin white curtains billow in the morning breeze, and as you take a deep breath of it, you can feel the rich freshness of the world that is awaiting you. You smell the salty, briny aroma of the ocean that is just beyond your window. You smell the wisteria and lilacs that are slick with dew from a cool summer night on the coast. Their fragrant floral aroma is almost like perfume, reminding you just how gentle and lovely nature can be. You hear the sounds of the ocean, the waves lapping up against the rocky shoreline, the the soothing crash they make as they collide with the granite and slate. Then trickle back down into the ocean in long, thin, flowing tendrils. You can practically hear the foam crackling on the sand beach far below your house. The wind makes a peaceful little howl as it winds through the edges of the cliffs, eroding away the rock, as it has been for thousands and thousands of years, creating this symphony all the while. And then you notice perhaps your favorite noise in nature's orchestra, the sound of the birds greeting the day. They chirp and sing to one another, composing their songs to the universe as they savor the feeling of the bright morning sun on their feathers. You can hear the song of the chickadee making its cheerful and serene chick, dee, 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 call out through the leaves of the tree it is nestled in. You open your eyes to get a look at the bird, still cozily curled up in the white sheets of your bed. Through the semi-sheer white curtains that are dancing in the breeze, you can see a glimpse of your garden. The lush greenery pops out against the bright blue sky behind it, and the silvery flecks of rock you can see on the winding coastline far behind it. The chickadee sits atop a branch, lifting its beak to sing, as though it is taking a drink of the sky. It has a tawny underbelly and slate-grey wings with a peppering of black and dark grey feathers mixed in. A stripe of pure white leads to its dark beak, and its head is black, shimmering in the sun. It's a tiny bird, but the sound it makes is far from it. The chickadee glances your direction, for it takes off, sailing off into other trees in the distance. In its place, a blue jay lands, weighing down the branches with its heavy talons. It is a sleek and beautiful bird, a deeper, richer blue than the sky that is backlighting it. It ruffles its feathers, flashing the mix of lavender, cobalt, and sapphire blue, before it dips down, taking a berry out of your garden and disappears into the trees. You rise from bed, relishing the feeling of the cool wooden floors beneath your feet. These floors are original to the cabin. This cabin that was built by a fisherman way back in the 1800s. From time to time, you imagine the fisherman and his wife, the storekeeper, laying down the flooring, plank by plank by plank. On one late afternoon, laughing with one another as they tried to get it finished in the light of a flickering kerosene lantern before the sun went all the way down. In fact, the house is full of touches of their life that they left behind. There's a can opener on the wall in the kitchen. There are hooks screwed in by the front door, where you're certain the fisherman left his waders to dry after a morning out on the water. There are even names carved on the ancient tree behind the house. Names that are so far up on the bark that you can't even make them out. You make your way into the kitchen to pour yourself a cup of iced tea on this brilliantly sunny and warm morning. The wind keeps the air from getting too hot, and the iced tea keeps you cool and comfortable. You take a moment to change into a bathing suit before you head out to sit in the garden for breakfast. You tuck into a simple meal, an omelette you made from fresh eggs down the road, and vegetables you harvested from your very own garden just yesterday afternoon. With every bite, you're reminded of the bounty of the land. However, it's not just the bites of food that are reminding you of that. You look out over the vista before you in awe, soaking it in as you do every single morning. Your cottage is atop a tiny hill overlooking the ocean. Cliffs flank the right side of you, rocky cliffs where birds nest and tourists snap pictures of the stunning power of the ocean. Before you, just outside the white picket fence surrounding your garden, there is a dirt path that leads down a set of stairs to the beach, just at the base of the hill. The beach is your own secluded escape, a perfect swathe of sand beside the sparkling ocean and the towering cliffs. You sip your tea in the comfort of your garden. This time of year, in early summer, everything seems to be in full bloom. The scent of the lilac bush gives your garden an even more serene, connected feeling to nature than usual. The fleeting purple blossoms of the lilacs catch the breeze on occasion and scatter across the stones in the garden, peppering the walkway like confetti. You set down your iced tea and walk over these blossoms as you make your way down to the beach, a book and towel in hand. With every step down the smooth walkway, you feel yourself relaxing more and more. The waves seem to be moving in slow motion, like they're brushing against the shore for you, and only you, as you make your way down the path on this sunny morning. The moment your feet touch down in the sand, you feel completely and utterly relaxed. The warm golden sand embraces you, wrapping around your toes and the soles of your feet, soothing them more than any massage ever could. You lay down a blanket in your usual spot, propped right up against a large, smooth stone that has surely been sitting in this spot, on this beach, for hundreds and hundreds of years. As you lean your back against it, the warmth of the stone allows your shoulders to drop and your back to fully relax. You melt against it, soaking in the heat of the stone on one side and the heat of the sun shining down on you on the other. You spread out on the blanket and grab your book. Today, you chose a book of poetry written by a local poet. A book of poems about the island itself. You wade through the poems slowly, like a child taking their time in a tidal pool, inspecting every nook and cranny to see what surprises can be found inside if you truly look. You mutter the poems to yourself, poems that feel as smooth and sweet as honey on your tongue, mixed in with the sounds of the waves. Your own voice nearly lulls you to sleep. You close your eyes on occasion, soaking in the poems and the sound of the waves. Finally, the heat of the sun becomes a bit too much for you. You watch the ocean waves as they go out to sea, then lap the shore. Go out to sea, then lap the shore. They look so cool and inviting, and you know they're the perfect way to cool off. You set down your book on the rock and make your way towards the waves. With slow, careful steps, you make your way into the water. It embraces you as you enter, the chill of the Atlantic cooling you off. The feeling of the ocean waves is unlike anything else. In them, you swear you can feel the motion of the whole world. The soft and deliberate moves that keep everything going in harmony. You wade into the water until it is up to your chest. You can feel the gentle current beneath you still at work, bringing the waves to shore, then out to sea, to shore, then out to sea. Slowly, you lift up your legs, allowing yourself to float on your back. You feel utterly weightless and carefree. And at the same time, you feel connected to the world around you in a way that people rarely do. Here, there are no stresses, no problems. There is just the touch of the ocean and the movements of nature that keep everything in peace and harmony. You soak up the waves and the sun for quite some time, paddling through them and floating on your back on occasion. By the time the sun has reached its high point, you decide it is time to go on with your day. You wade back to shore, but not before you give the ocean one final look. It sparkles in the light of the sun, all the way to the far horizon, where distant islands and the mainland have an entirely different view. You grab your towel and dry yourself off as you make your way up the stairs with the poetry book in hand. To get the salt of the ocean off you, you step into the outdoor shower you have set up in the garden. On either side of you, the beautiful lilacs are in full bloom. As you shower in the water that has been warmed by the sun, the steam mingles with the fragrant aroma of the lilacs. It's like your own personal sauna in the comfort of your garden. It is not just the soap that is cleansing you, but this beautiful experience outside with nature all around you. Freshly showered, you slip on some light linen clothes that will keep you cool on this sunny summer day. Without a schedule, and with the weather as beautiful as it is, it feels like the perfect time to take a trip to the harbour and the centre of the island. You head to the shed that's nestled beside the cottage. A shed where dozens of the previous owners have carved their names. You run your fingers over the names, silently thanking each and every one for taking care of this beautiful cottage so the future occupants could enjoy it just as much as they did. You grab your bike out of the cottage, an old cozy bike with bright yellow paint and a worn leather seat. You bought it at a yard sale on the island, almost solely because of the wire basket on its front. You climb onto the bike and give your sleepy body a stretch. Then, slowly, you push yourself forward and start to sail down the hill towards town. The roads are dirt and bumpy, but nothing you aren't used to. You glide down the hill with ease, winding around the stray puddles left over from the storm that rained down on the island the previous morning. All around you, cottages just like your own dot the roadside. Craftsman cottages with intricately designed porches and large windows. Old cedar siding cottages that fishermen had lived in for generations and generations. Tiny two-room cottages that artists stayed in for the summer, since they'd spend most of their days exploring the countryside instead, anyway. Some old willow trees tower over the cottages, their long flowing tendrils hanging out into the dirt road. Since there are no cars allowed on the island, it is no bother. The bikers simply wind through them with ease, trailing their hands out on occasion to see if they can feel the brush of the leaves against their bare, sun-kissed skin. You wade through the sea of white picket fences and historic houses until you find yourself downtown. It is a quaint little downtown, peppered with only the kind of businesses that a town like this needs. There's a bookstore that has been around for generations. The very bookstore that you bought your book of poems from. there's a gardening and feed store for the local farmers. There's a grocery store for everyone, where fresh local produce is sold daily from your neighbors and friends. Then, of course, there's the post office, a health center, and finally, the cafe, the heartbeat of the whole town. As the only restaurant, they're able to mix things up however they please. Every morning, they serve up fresh waffles, pancakes, and breakfast sandwiches, as well as fruit from the local farmers. The waffles are towered high with homemade maple syrup and blueberries from the fields just a few miles down the road. People flock to the cafe in the morning to share breakfast and stories over a cup of coffee. During lunch and dinner, the cafe serves a mix of things. Chowder during the cold winter months, and salads and sandwiches during summer. But at night, there are always pastries and cakes galore, enough for the whole island to come down and indulge for the night. The cafe stays open late, which the owner doesn't seem to mind, and the people adore. You swing by the cafe, parking your bike with the line of other bikes that you've come to recognize by now. You grab yourself a pastry and a fresh squeezed blueberry lemonade for this hot summer day before you hop on your bike and continue on your journey. As you breeze through town on the bike, several locals wave to you, their neighbors, friends, all eager to have a laugh with you and chat about the day. You chat with some in passing as you continue on, heading for the blueberry fields on the far side of the island. You wind along a creek as you make your way to the blueberry fields. On this side of the island, the houses are much sparser. In their place, sprawling farmland can be found. There's a farm with Scottish Highland cattle, beautiful long-haired cows who meander up to the fence to get a look at you, and hopefully get a few ear rubs from you. You pause on your bike and smile at them before you brush back their beautiful fur. They lean into your touch, relishing it. You continue on, waving goodbye to the cows as you come up on the blueberry fields. The blueberry fields are a complete contrast to the rest of the island. Where elsewhere there are cozy homes and towering trees, here there is hardly anything. The low blueberry bushes stretch as far as the eye can see, their green leaves heavy with ripe blueberries. During some times of the year, the bushes would be bright red and orange, but now they are as lush and green as can be. You place a few dollars in a jar by the roadside for the owner, who you know very well. You lean down, breathing in the fragrance of the blueberries as you pluck them off the bush one by one by one. It would be easier with a blueberry rake, but here and now, grabbing them by your hands ambience just feels right. You fill a small jar you've brought with you, smiling as the jar fills more and more. You aren't sure what exactly you're going to make with the blueberries yet, but as you take a handful of them in your mouth, you know whatever you're going to make is going to be delicious. They are tart and sweet, a perfect balance of each that leaves you wanting more. But you tuck them away, putting them in your basket so they can make the long journey home with you. And you know it'd be best to get home soon, because overhead, clouds are starting to make their way across the sky. It is normal for a summer afternoon like this one, and you are actually looking forward to a little rain. You start to pedal back home, savoring the feeling of the breeze on your skin and the last remnants of the tart blueberries on your tongue. The air around you grows more and more humid as the rain clouds grow closer to the island. But you do not mind. The air kissing your skin as you bike through keeps you nice and refreshed, even with the clouds simmering above you. When you bike through the center of town, you can't help but notice everyone bracing for the rain. A few people emerge from their houses carrying umbrellas. Others settle underneath trees on old benches to watch the storm make its way by. Through the cafe window, you can see several people grabbing hot lattes and coffees, bracing for the cool chill that the rain will bring. You continue on, biking up the hill to reach your cozy cottage. You drop your bike in the shed, closing the door behind you to ensure that it is safe from the incoming rain. Just as you close the door of the shed, you feel the first few raindrops. You smile to yourself, delighted by your own timing. You step into your house, closing the front door behind you. But then, slowly, you go around the house, opening up each and every window. The breeze has picked up as the rain starts, sending a cool, refreshing chill through the house. You don't care about a little rainwater on these floors that have withstood much worse over hundreds of years. You make yourself a cup of steaming Earl Grey tea on the stove and go to your bedroom, where the crisp white sheets beckon you once again. You plop down in them, comforted by their soft embrace. The French doors beside you are wide open, the curtains billowing around yet again. Rain pours down just beyond the doors, dancing across the walkway and on the roof overhead. The sound of the rain pitter-pattering on the roof and the walkway and the ocean beyond that is incredibly comforting. You sink down into the mattress, listening intently to the sound the rain is making all around you. Everything comes to a halt with the rain. It gives you some much-needed time to reflect and just enjoy being here now. You watch as rain ricochets off some of the slick leaves outside, but weighs down others, The lilacs, which you couldn't see from here only moments ago, are now crisscrossed in front of the door, their beautiful blossoms weighed down by the drops of rain clinging to them. The fragrance of the flowers is more rich and beautiful than ever now, mixed with the invigorating aroma of the rain. Your skin radiates warmth from being in the sun all day. The sun-kissed feeling makes you more and more sleepy with every passing second. Gradually, your eyes begin to close. You find yourself sinking deep into an afternoon slumber as the rain washes over the historic cottage, a cottage that brings you nothing but joy and peace. I hope you have enjoyed this sleep story, and it has brought you a night of peaceful, restful sleep. Please, join me again tomorrow night for another sleep story. Until then, sweet dreams.